Latvia to ask thousands of Russian citizens to leave the country.
Here's a summary of the article.
Up to 6,000 of Russian citizens in Latvia are expected to receive official notices next month asking them to leave the country, according to Ingmārs Lidaka, head of the Parliament's Commission on Citizenship, Migration and Public Mobilization. There are 5,000 to 6,000 of them. These are people who have not shown any desire, either to take the exam or to obtain a temporary residence permit. They are silent. According to the current legislation, the Office of Citizenship and Migration will simply have to send them a request to leave the country within 3 months, he said. Representatives of the Latvian Interior Ministry confirmed that letters are being prepared. Around 6,000 people will receive them, the ministry said, according to the ELTA news agency. Following Russia's full-scale invasion of Ukraine, Latvia decided to ask Russian citizens living in the country to undergo a mandatory Latvian language exam. This caused mixed reactions in the country that still hosts thousands of Russian citizens who have lived in the country since the 1990 independence from the Soviet Union, but have never obtained the Latvian citizenship. Critics say many of them have failed to integrate into the Latvian society.
This post received a score of 7,900, with an upvote ratio of 97%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
Greater than these are people who have not shown any desire, either to take the exam or to obtain a temporary residence permit. They are silent.
I'm in Iceland on holiday at the moment. The amount of Russians I've seen here is amazing to me. Was in Blue Lagoon and overheard one lady talking to an American about Trump and Russian-Ukraine war like, oh, we don't do politics so we will just stay here till it's over. Made me so mad. Pussies voted for Putin for years and bailed when shit got heavy. Meanwhile people are dying for their crap.
Here in Scotland we basically have two types of Russians right now. 1. Those who have moved here only recently to dodge the consequences of the war. All of us who knew him prior to the war know that he has always been vocal about hating the Russian regime, and we know that he emigrated here because he was a known dissident and wasn't safe back home. He's gotten a lot of shit for being Russian recently from people who don't know him and just assume that he's one of the other lot.
Generally when someone like that is put on the spot for this, wouldn't they just have to agree and say Russia sucks to immediately connect with others? If someone still hates him just because he is Russian, then we are bordering racist behavior.
Sure, that would probably work with most reasonable people. But it would still suck and it would be exhausting to get that initial spew of hatred delivered like a warm glass of piss to the face and thus having to explain himself whenever he meets new people.
I agree, but I don't think reasonable people would hate someone they don't know for being Russian.
Just check Reddit comments when someone mentions Russia. There's plenty who will demonize every Russian who exists.
Title makes it seem like these are ethnically Russian citizens in Latvia when these are people with Russian citizenship and no visa and they don't want to apply for PR status or Latvian citizenship. Nobody is being made stateless.
It says Russian citizens, seems pretty clear to me. It would likely refer to them as Russian Latvians or Latvians of Russian descent otherwise.
Well, they don't have Latvian citizenship, they refuse to integrate and they constantly praise Russia. Seems like a reasonable move to tell them to go home.
They're not even being told to go, they're being asked. Still far nicer than a Ukrainian being thrown onto a bus and being forced to be Russian.
IIRC. The word mandatory was also in the article.
Well, fuck them. They got out of the hellhole that is Russia. Refuse to assimilate. Many are actively a threat to national security. Leave, or face arrest and forcible deportation.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.